What's going on YouTube? Crypto Matrix coming at you with another cryptocurrency stream. And guys, the Bitcoin price still sitting right above $13,000. And there's a few things I wanted to talk about today, including the Bitcoin whale clusters, which are acting now as supports. There's at least 3 of them, guys. We're going to talk about that today. And I wanted to go over Electroneum. It's exactly following that wedge like I predicted, guys. Let me know if you caught that in the last video in the comments. And guys, there's lots to go over. Be sure to subscribe and like, and I'm going to dive right into the price action. Alright guys, so as you can see, Bitcoin has just been steadily moving up since, the last few months. Since March, we've been moving up. We've been in the bull market. It feels like a bull market right now, guys. So I drew these new resistance and support lines right up here. So this has been acting as a support. Now, I'm going off of the last touch back here from last July. Okay, so these are the two, one resistance, one support that we're acting as right now. But we got these from last year. The only real touches we have from the previous peak back in 2018. So for instance, when we break above this, we'll have some new lines to draw, say up here at like 16.3, maybe 14 and change. But in reality, guys, there's not too much holding it down. There's really just a lot of bullish sentiment going on right now. And I think that we could just see some higher times right around the corner, especially if we can continue to hold this support structure right here. Say like we just kind of push it in sideways. As you can see, the EMA 20 is still above the EMA 55. We're kind of hugging the top Bollinger Band. That's really good, guys. That means we're still moving up. If you look at the days range even, we're still at very high. We're still in the, the higher side. And in the 52-week range, we're at as high as it gets, guys. It's basically all the way up there. So a lot of people are asking me, is now still a good time to buy Bitcoin? The reality is, guys, is it could just keep moving up. So buying at these highs could just be okay for you guys. For instance, if it got all the way up to say 26,000, that's doubling your money. So for instance, everybody wants to wait and buy these dips, say under 10,000, but the 10,000 just might not come again, guys. I think we had a gift, it coming down as close to that CME gap as possible. We hit like 9,770, just above the CME gap. I think that was basically your gift to get in the market, and if you didn't get in the market, you're wishing you did right now, that's for sure. So guys, what I think is going to happen is I think we're going to get kind of like a little bit of a bounce around right here, and then another leg up, and then testing a new resistance at like 13.6, which will be a new one, which I think will just form on its own. So there's not like something I'm drawing right there. I just think that's where it'll hit, and it'll kind of just start to do the same kind of thing. For instance, if you look at the leg ups, leg up sideways, leg up sideways, leg up sideways, leg up sideways, leg up, and now we're not getting it's not breaking the previous leg up. So this could be a little bit of resistance here that we're running into right now. Okay, so hopefully we get a little bit more chop. But for instance, guys, we just saw it back here, the big Bart Simpson. Could we get another Bart Simpson, say break down to 11,400? That's definitely something that's possible, guys. And you got to think, as long as we stay above this legacy line here, we're in good shape for bullish sentiment to continue. And I think, guys, the CME gap is now something that's going to be forgotten. I don't think we'll drop below, say, a worst case scenario, say like if it went straight down. We couldn't go below 10,600 no matter what. I think that line has acted as a support, which we've held religiously. We've never, broken it. So on a good note, guys, I think that no matter what happens, even worst case scenario, we can't break down that far. I think what's actually going to happen is we're actually going to get a pump up, retesting this resistance that we have up here at 13,250, and then hopefully we can get a break to the upside and break above it, guys, because that's what we need to do to continue this bullish sentiment. But I think as long as we hold the $12,800 support here, we're in very good short-term bullish times. Okay, guys, for instance, if this just continues to get supported here, I think we'll definitely break through this resistance by the end of this coming week. Okay, guys, easily. And guys, there was definitely a lot of bulls buying in the last few months, guys. We're going to talk about those bull clusters in a second. But first, I wanted to go over Electroneum. So guys, I drew this descending wedge here for you guys. And as you can see, we touched up into the green box I was talking about. And as we started to break down, I knew this wedge was going to come into play here. So I drew the wedge all the way back here. We broke out of it. We're a little bit overbought for a minute, and then now broke down, and hopefully we can get a bounce up. We don't want to see it for instance, put in a lower low. So for instance, higher low, higher low, higher low, but this is now a lower low than the previous low here in this ascending wedge. So as long as we stay above, I know, like right here, I think that would be very important for the short term. So for instance, if we could see something like this, bounce back up and not continue down further, okay, we don't want to see that. We want to see something like this, moving back upwards, maybe a little retest, and then break out like that. That would be a very good sign, guys. But it looks like it's going to follow this channel. Just to be honest with you guys, I think there's going to be a little bit of a bounce around. We broke both supports and are now touching the legacy line, which I've drawn. So unless we get a little bit of bullish sentiment for the short term, we're going to continue to get a little bit of breakdown. Hopefully it just isn't too much more aggressive, guys. Let me know what you think in the comments about Electroneum, guys. I know a lot of you are very bullish on it. There's a lot of good potential for Electroneum. It's still in its infancy stage. I talk about this all the time. I'm definitely a very avid holder of Electroneum, and I believe in its future. So I can't stress enough, I'm not getting weeded out by these weak prices. Yes, I did get in a lot lower, but in reality, even if I got in, say, at like 0.0056, I wouldn't be worried. Even if I got in 0.0064, I would still be sitting confident knowing that my coin is going to be worth more of the value as long as I hold on, guys. I don't like to ever sell at a loss. It's never a good thing. And guys, I wanted to go over OXT briefly. Okay, I took profit here. It looks like we're going to get a little bit of breakdown. If we break down to this line again at 0.22, I'll be looking to buy again. But if we don't get supported there, guys, say like it's a sharp down, I won't be buying. Say like if it's a real sharp down, if it's kind of a sideways motion, yes, I'll buy. But for instance, I'm looking for another spike up like this, but there's no guarantee will happen. And the reason that I think that we're having trouble with it is because we're already over the 48%. So for instance, from peak to low, 40-some percent. Next peak to low, 44%. And then say from, if we actually added it from not this bottom, but to where it's at currently, we're already at 52%. So it's 54%. So it's very interesting. Are we going to get another leg up, or is OXT just going to kind of have some boring behavior for the end of the year, and we're kind of just going to be trickling sideways, consolidating, and weeding out more weak hands? Well, guys, I think Orchid, again, very new coin, only been on Gemini for a short period of time. There's a lot of hype about Orchid, and I think that we're going to see dollar prices eventually when we ever get a next peak, just because we hit 0.85 in the last peak. You can expect the next peak to be even higher, especially with the bullish sentiment that's coming into the market over the next few years. So I would be holding your bags, guys, even if you got in, say, like 0.26, 0.30. Just be patient. Don't take your loss. It's a very painful thing to take a loss, and I think with a coin like Orchid, you're going to see some price legs up. And it's just a matter of time. You got to remember, it shot all the way up from 0.18 all the way up to 0.85, okay, guys, in just a matter of a week. So from the 10th to the 17th at a spike there in August, guys. So that was an amazing price rally. And guys, I wanted to get back into Bitcoin here and talk about the Bitcoin whale clusters and the 3 key levels for Bitcoin price rally to continue. So according to Whale Map, there are 3 major Bitcoin whale clusters in the near term which might serve as key technical levels. The 11,857, 12,256, and 12,868 levels would likely act as important support and resistance areas. Now just acting as support, as you guys know, we're above $13,000. So in previous cycles, whale activity continued to significant price movements at crucial technical levels. For instance, the Cointelegraph reported that a whale sold at 12,000 after holding for years. In the next few weeks, BTC price dropped to sub $10,000, guys, and that's when we were having the last $10,000 drop there, guys. So that was an optimal time to buy in. There's no guarantee those prices will come again, guys. I think that we have a lot of bullish sentiment. There's a lot of, pressure to the upside right now, and we're currently sitting above $13,000. We're about to break $13,100. So since October 2nd, in just over 3 weeks, the price of Bitcoin climbed 24% against the US dollar. In the same period, gold has slightly risen by 0.2%, as BTC outperformed most risk-on and safe haven assets. So guys, I always talk about Bitcoin being the most profitable investment Here's the proof. 24% since October 2nd, guys. That's less than a month. 24%, that's more than some people get in yearly gains. If you bought in early October, you're sitting on what most people consider yearly gains right now. So that's just incredible. So why are whales accumulating BTC at these price points? Now, there's a few things to go over, guys. I think that whales not only have the money to put down to move the price in certain directions, but I think that with big chunks that are bought, they act as supports, you know, because they're holding the price there with enough pressure. So I think that smart money comes in at lows, and a lot of the smart money, yes, they bought in the 3s, the 4s, the 5s. Okay, and a lot of us anyone that's buying right now is chasing the dragon. It's that simple. But I think that, you know, BTC and accumulation is key for price bullish behavior. So I think everyone that's been accumulating, pushing the price up, you've been accumulating to the buying pressure, and that's, you know, moving the price up. And I think when a whale comes in and does that, it really moves the price in a positive direction. And furthermore, BTC has historically thrived when its reliance on world markets and other asset classes and industries is minimal. So for instance, the correlation to gold or the dollar or all these other things. And trading can operate independently without interference from non-crypto events as distractions, for instance, COVID, the election, all these things going on. So the confluence of BTC resilience above 11,900 is an important whale cluster, as well as various favorable technical factors may help BTC USD overpower several bearish signals in the short term to keep the current rally going. So I think that's what's going to happen, guys. I think that we're still got a lot of bullish sentiment. I think, say, like even worst case scenario, we get a big sell-off come after the election. You know, that I think will still hold, you know, above $10,000. So I think that's, you know, very bullish news, guys. I think there's nothing really that can stop this momentum unless we get another big COVID crisis fear sell-off. Okay, I think that's the only thing that can stop this momentum right now, guys. And I think that if you're not in on BTC yet, maybe it's even worth it to throw down right now at these highs, just so you can be in on what's coming up over the next few years, guys. And guys, that's all I have time for today. Be sure to subscribe and like, guys. I am doing a giveaway for my Ledger Nano S. All you have to do to be part of that drawing is to subscribe, and one of my first 500 subscribers will win this Ledger Nano S. And if you're not familiar with Ledger, it's definitely the safest way to keep your crypto right under your nose so you don't get hacked or lose your money. I can't stress that's the worst feeling in the world, is getting robbed online. So guys, that's all I have time for today. Be sure to subscribe and like. I am Crypto Matrix. I will catch you guys later.